Owner Scott Farber is having the time of his life with his homebreds, including take-all-comers who heads to the Hambletonian final. I had a chance to catch up with him and his trainer Jim Campbell on their Hambletonian contender. So you bought his mother. He's a homebred. Tell us how much he means to you.
It means the world to me. Homebred, like we talked about before, makes it a little bit more special. I was in this race in 2011, I think, right, Jimmy? 2011?
Yep.
Yeah, so I was in this race in 2011 with opening night, but, he wasn't a homebred. So, obviously, as everybody will tell you and everybody knows, because it's a homebred, it makes it really a lot more special.
What were your impressions on his elimination? He had the fastest last quarter. He come from off the pace. He finished the mile with lots of trot, really raced well from an outside post.
So he obviously is a very talented horse. I know he's going to give what he has, like his sister does, week in and week out. He loves to do his work. I know he's going to give what he's got, and I'm really looking forward to the race. I hope he kicks home the same way he kicked home last week, this week, from a better post.
How excited are you? You mentioned you're a one-man band. You've bred him. You're in this on your own. It was something your father did. You have to be excited heading into the final.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I grew up 5 minutes from the Meadowlands. I used to ride my bike to the Meadowlands. So, to be able to race on what I would call my home track, it's an incredibly exciting feeling. I'm feeling some pressure, even though I'm not the one that's performing. I'm feeling some pressure. I'm going to have a big crowd of friends there that have known that I've been in this business for a long, long time. They'll be there to support me, and it's going to be real, real exciting. I can't wait for it.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Jim, give us your impressions on his elimination last week. Fastest last quarter. He come from well off the pace and had lots of trot finishing up the mile.
I was very happy with the effort he put in. He trotted home 26-4, which was really, really well. Everything kind of went according to plan. Before the race, talking to Dave Miller, just wasn't sure, how the race was going to go. We thought there would be a fair amount of speed on the inside, and Dave ended up giving him a real good trip. Followed a good horse, and we got us in the final, and we're ready to go.
Talk about how it is getting horses to peak this time of year, whether you're heading for the Oaks or the Hambletonian, because when you're a 3-year-old trotter, this is the elite race you want to be in.
Yeah, I think anybody that has a 3-year-old trotter that shows ability, you have that race in mind. And Scott and I, we talked it over many times during the winter time of like a rough idea of his schedule. And the main thing we wanted was not to be going back to back, week in, week out with him, kind of spread his starts out a little bit. And, his schedule actually worked out really well for us to this point, where he hasn't had to go back to back leading up to the race. And I think that's the whole key is if you have the race in mind, you want to be thinking about how you're going to race, May, June, and July. If you have the race in mind, because you don't want to over-race them before it.
Give us a strong suit he has. Last week he come from off the pace. We've seen him leave the gate with some speed. What's one of his strong suits?
Well, I think overall he's pretty versatile. He can race good from behind. He can race good up towards the front end, and he's the type of horse where if he does end up first over, it's not going to bother him. He can race anyway.
How do you feel going into the final?
I'm obviously hoping for a good post position, but I was thinking about it driving home Saturday night. There's 10 horses in there. There's 10 of them have a shot to win. It's the racing today is totally different than, I've been racing top stake horses for 4 decades, and this is totally different than what it was back in the 80s. Because every horse that's in there is a fast horse. They all got speed. They all did something to earn their spot. And I think it just all depends how the race shapes up. There's nobody in there, I don't think, that's scaring anybody away, and it's going to come down to who gets a good trip and who doesn't.
Well, good luck this weekend.
Thank you.